Hello students, today we're going to do a review of linear functions. The next lesson in geometry is going to require you to write equations of both parallel and perpendicular lines. And so before we head into that, I'd like to do a quick review of some Algebra 1A skills that you might be a little bit rusty on. So the first concept is slope-intercept form. This is the most common form of a line, and slope-intercept form is y is equal to mx plus b. Now, just as a reminder, when we have a line, we will have something that looks like this, and the x is the input, which is represented on the x-axis. The y is the output, which is represented on the y-axis. The b is the y-intercept, which is at point 0b, and that would be this point right here. And then m stands for slope, which is the amount of change in the line, which we might remember as rise over run. So we would see 2 points here, they would rise up and run a certain amount, and that ratio would be the slope. Now, a second form that we use is called point-slope form. Now, this is good for when you know the slope and then you know another point, but that other point is not the y-intercept. So that is y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. And again, x is the input, y is the output. Notice the subtraction signs right here. That means, oops, pointed to the wrong y. The subtraction signs mean that we are going to do the opposite of the actual point. So we're going to have a point x1, y1, and we're going to put the opposite of those numbers right here. And then just like the other one, m is the slope. One more formula is how do we calculate slope when given 2 points? So when I have 2 points, each of those points has an x and a y, but they're a different x and y, so I would notate that with x1, y1, and x2, y2. The formula for calculating the slope is to divide the difference of the y's by the difference of the x's. So I'm just going to subtract the y's, y number 2 minus y number 1, and divide it by x number 2 minus x number 1. So I would take these three formulas here and keep them on a reference sheet handy. That way you don't have to keep on pulling them up on a video. That would be quick. So your homework practice is going to look like this. Write an equation in slope-intercept form with the given characteristics. The slope is 3 over 2 and the y-intercept is 2. Now this is as easy as it gets because slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where the slope is 3 over 2 and the y-intercept is 2. That would be y equals 3 over 2x plus 2. And we're finished. Now this one, I want to put it into slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, and the key feature here is that the y is by itself. So in order to get the y by itself, first I'm going to simplify the right side by using the distributive property. Negative 3x plus 6, y plus 3 is equal to that, and then I'm just going to subtract 3 to get y by itself. Y is equal to negative 3x plus 3. All done. Now here's where we start getting a little bit tricky. I know that the slope is 1/4, and that's going to be m. But now this one, I have a point that is not a y-intercept because it doesn't start with 0. So since I have a point and a slope, I should use point-slope form. Just a quick reminder from a few minutes ago, point slope form is y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. Now in this point, this is x1 and this is y1. So that means I would do y minus 3 is equal to mx plus 2. Oops, sorry. The slope of this is 1/4. So instead of m, I would put 1/4. Okay, so now, simplifying this, that would be 1/4 x plus 1/4 times 2 is 1/2. Y minus 3 is equal to 1/4 x plus 1/2. I want to get the y by itself. So y equals 1/4 x plus 1/2 plus 3. I'm just going to reduce that to 3.5. Or if you want to stay in fractions, this would be 6/2. So it'd be y equals 1/4 x plus 7/2. Okay, now this one, how do I write the equation of a line given the 2 points that it goes through? Well, this is where I first have to find the slope, and in order to find the slope, I'm going to say this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, and this is y2. And then we had previously discussed the slope equation. Slope is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So in this case, that would be 2 minus negative 4 divided by 5 minus negative 5. Minus and negative turns into a positive, so that would be 2 plus 4 is 6, over 5 plus 5 is 10, and 6 over 10 is going to reduce to 3/5, and that is m. Now that I know the slope, I can go ahead and start up point slope form. Y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. I already know that the slope is 3/5, and so now I just need to plug in a point. At this point, you can choose which one you would rather use. I would rather use 5, 2 just because they're both positive numbers. So I would say y minus 2 is equal to 3/5 x minus 5. Doing my distributive property right here, I would get 3/5 x minus, I'm going to go off to the side to do this calculation, 5 times 3/5, that's 5 over 1, so that would be 15/5, which is 3. Y minus 2 is equal to 3/5 x minus 3. I'll add 2 to get the y by itself. Y is equal to 3/5 x minus 1, and we are finished.